Hello everyone and welcome to another of Qwizical's Guides 2 with me Qwizical, and today we are looking at making a comeback, in particular Endgame style, yeah. So today I have been informed of a really awesome example of a comeback that was made in a game of Scrabble that was won, and it was awesome and it's really smart and stuff, and it happened from the player being 40 points behind, and they came back to win by a smidge. But I am going to warn you guys, this game is a OWL 2016 game, or a TWL 4, 3, OWL 3, whatever number it is. I want you guys to solve it. I will give you a pause and we will have a look at the board. So here is the scenario. So we are playing as my buddy Muzzy. Go Muzzy! And he is 40 points behind. And he's staring at a rack. Now, the thing is about being 40 points behind and having a rack like this that doesn't make a bonus is that you've got these power tiles here. These, not really power tiles, that's the wrong word. You've got more of a high scoring selection of consonants that enables you to score a decent chunk of points that is going to allow you to catch up. So of course here, first off, Muzzy's opponent can't go out. So we know we're guaranteed 2 moves, but before I spoil it anymore, you guys at home now have your warning. If you want to try and solve the puzzle, you better pause it here, because otherwise you're going to get spoilt. And you guys really love solving puzzles and stuff, that's why you play Scrabble. So if you're not pausing it now, you're going to be really upset. You've been warned. So what would you do here? What is the first thing you look for with this kind of rack? So a lot of this making a comeback strategy involves a lot of the strategies that are from other videos that I've done, such as board vision and endgame strategy. So of course we want our 2-move play out, but we also need to make sure that we are identifying any potential hotspots on the board where we can score some points. So first off, looking at the board, we've got this triple up here. We have this B row here that potentially could be useful, not saying it is. We have anything parallel down column 3 and 5. We have this hotspot here, and maybe there's some other parallel plays somewhere. For those of you that haven't noticed, somehow Muzzy and Fairway managed to play the word butt and sex on the same board. Parallel to each other. Oh, the excitement. But back to the Scrabble. So sometimes when you're faced with these racks and there aren't really many enticing hotspots, you've got to try and make the letters fit on the board. So you're looking to make several parallel plays. Several plays that really make the most of your high scoring tiles. So somewhere like row M is really good, because you've actually got the O that goes, why am I so bad at typing? Got the O that goes here for over. And now what goes really well with a C? An H. An H goes really well, and it makes hop at the same time. So if we're going to try and extend this to this wonderful double word square over here, because you know those are pretty useful. Oh, no Y in that. Let's reset. Oh, there we go. So now we can see we're getting 40 points for playing Mucho. That's a lot of points. But what else does Mucho do? Because Mucho will put us level. And our opponent's best move is actually Flayed across here. F-L-E-Y-E-D. and that scores 30 points. So we've got to now try and score 30 points with these 3 tiles here. I would have said letters, but the blank is not a letter. Not yet, it isn't anyway. So how are we going to potentially score 30 points here to win the game? And this is where being able to see the words on the board comes in really handy. It's being able to have a kind of visual image of what the board looks like after a certain number of plays. Now, sometimes you may find this helps if you draw it out or if you actually proceed to place your tiles on the board. Because it's really hard to visualize several different things in several different areas at the same time. It confuses my head. So what does mucho give us back? Well, what goes in front of hop? Well, the blank goes in front of hop. You've got shop or chop, or probably something else. You've got wop. Importantly, you have wop. So what goes in front of the U? The N goes in front of the U, and then, for those of you that haven't learnt your hooks to your 3-letter words yet, you better start, because there are quite a few here. You've got a couple of hooks for now, so you've got A now, you got E now, but more importantly, when I can get ISC to work, you have nows and sober. So that gets you all the points you need to score very awesomely. That will get you 33 points. So you've got your 40 points for mucho, and then you've got your 33 points for nows, and that gives you the awesome comeback. So now that you've got the awesome comeback, all there's left to do is to play those tiles. And then you've got your victory. Ta-da! A win by 5. So that brings us nicely on to the summary. Point number 1. You need good board vision for a comeback. Of course, there is always going to be an element of luck, but in particular, this endgame requires you to have great board vision. Without being able to see the correct place and the correct setup in this scenario to play the only winning move, I did check this on Qwizical, it is the only winning combination of moves, there would in fact be all hope lost at winning the game. Point number 2, endgame strategy. If you haven't already watched my video on endgame strategy, I suggest that you do. Endgame strategy is really important because it gives you a leg up on your opponent, or at least it aims to give you a leg up on your opponent if you are aware of the kinds of strategies such as a 2-move play out and potentially blocking your opponent's best plays. That wasn't evident in this game. You didn't need to block your opponent's best play here, but you may have been distracted by thinking you needed to block your opponent's best play. And sometimes being distracted is really detrimental to the way your game is played and potentially jeopardizes your way of winning the game. Point number 3, visualizing plays on the board. Now, sometimes I can't see things very well on the board. Sometimes it can be hard to see them. So if you really struggle with imagining the tiles appearing on the board, it might help if you place them on the board or if you draw them out on your score sheet. Whatever works for you is fine. Point number 4 for your endgame comeback. You need to maximize your points return. If you don't maximize how many points you're getting versus your leave versus everything else that's really, really important in general, which includes blocking your opponent's best play if it comes to that, it may be impossible for you to catch up. But in this scenario, we saw 73 points combined scored in 2 turns. That's the equivalent of a bonus. And those 73 points enabled the comeback that was incredible. So thank you for watching this game. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learnt something. And I bet you Muzzy hopes you enjoyed it as well. And I hope to see you guys next time for more of Quizical's Guides 2. Bye!